well, welcome to Chop It Up for November 2nd here in the year of our Lord 2021. My name is Kevin, host of Chop It Up, this conversation where we bring the barbershop conversations online and have it in unscripted, unrehearsed, just all off the top, off the dome type of way. This is where the brothers talk, and we do it for your pleasure, for your enjoyment, and for your edification, and just because we can, and we have nothing better to do. But we still going to do it. All right, I'm going to let the fellas introduce themselves, and then we'll jump into today's discussion.
I got a question. Can we turn off the record button? Because
you gonna wait till now?
You know the internet never forgets anything anyway.
Never. It never loses, nor does it ever forget.
Listen, Chocolate Rain is still getting videos, getting views.
Still. Is he getting royalties from that at all? That's my question.
Oh, yeah. On YouTube, yeah.
Chocolate Rain. I forgot how it went. Never mind. Anyway, Tari Watkins, Oklahoma City, in the mountains of Asheville right now, but that's all right. And hey, all gas, no brakes. Let's go, man. I'm ready. I got a lot of potential energy to store it up right now. Once this mask gets moving, it's hard to stop. So I'm just saying, let's roll. Let's make it happen.
All right, D.
It's Darian. I mean, bro, after your introductions, it's like that's all you got. Hi, I'm here. I'm here. Hi. This is Darian. Tulsa, Oklahoma. And as always, very happy to be here.
That's right. Hey, I come with the heat early. You come with the heat later on. So we go back and forth, bro.
Yes, sir.
Make it happen. All right. So this is one of those shows we're doing all gas, no brakes. We're going to hit a bunch of topics. We'll see how much we can get through. There's a lot, of course, that's happening every week. It seems like time. Who is it? Time keeps on slipping.
Yep.
Into the future. Hey. So there's a lot that happens every week. So rather than just try and break it down to just one topic, we're just doing all gas, no breaks as we have this conversation. As we start off and kind of what we've been started having a conversation on before we came on live was, have you seen the college football playoff rankings?
It's rigged.
Tori is heated about it.
Dude, okay, bro, yes, because I get the whole Alabama favoritism. I get that, man. We've been talking about that for ever since Nick Saban has been there. But come on, bro, an unranked Texas A&M team with a backup quarterback. You're talking about eye test? Come on, man. And Texas A&M still is not ranked.
Right.
They still aren't ranked. Oh,
right.
They're the number 2 team in the country. Okay, bro. All right, fine. You know what? Have your college football playoff. You know what? I'm done. I'm done.
Here's the thing. If they make it, if 1 and 2 actually make it to the SEC championship, that really is going to be the litmus test. If Georgia, yeah, it is, because if
you mean for Alabama,
right? Because if Georgia spanks them, then everybody knows.
Nope, they'll move to number 4 and they'll still keep them in the playoff. You already know the scenario, Darian. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're a cynic.
Okay, or number 1 Georgia loses number 2 Alabama. Alabama goes to 1, Georgia goes to 3.
True.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Why is Alabama ranked?
Well, Theo, if you're looking, because I was looking at the AP poll, I think some of the other polls have them ranked lower, but the playoff rankings have them as number 2.
Number 2, yeah. The AP has them as number 4.
3.
3,
and OU's at number 4. But no, the college football playoff that just came out like an hour ago, Alabama's number 2. Theo, go find it. You're really gonna flip out.
Michigan State is number 3, and I get it. They're undefeated. They're Big Ten, but 3.
But they beat Michigan though, and Michigan was what number?
Michigan was 6. They were 8 in the AP.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great win.
They were 8 in the AP. Now they jumped to 3.
Okay, wait a minute. OU was number 4 in the AP. They're number 8 in the college football. That doesn't mean anything,
I agree with
obviously.
that. I agree with that. I agree with that. OU's been ugly this year. As much as an OU fan
I
I
don't
am,
disagree. I don't
OU's been
disagree
ugly.
with that.
Now
I
they're
do
still
not
within.
disagree.
They're still within. They're still within a gunshot. If what I think is going to happen is going to happen, and I absolutely believe Michigan's going to slip up again, and Oregon's going to slip up again. And if that's possible, they're both gone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So OU's been down to this level before. As much as
Yes.
I am an OU fan, OU's been down this level before and have
have.
actually made all the way back by winning
They have
out.
to win out. They have to win out.
Oh yeah, by winning
Their own
out.
choice.
And honestly, with a really good OSU team this year, and a very decent Baylor, yeah, that's not going to be an easy task.
They're backloaded on their schedule.
Right.
With ranked
Right.
teams. So if they win out,
they make a case.
With them being number 8, they make a case. But I still don't think they put him in the top 4. But them putting him down at 8, even if they win out, it's not a guarantee.
I agree. I absolutely agree. It's really going to. I have a feeling this ranking is going to boil down to, out of everything else, is going to be the eye test that's going to be the linchpin for the top 4 at the end of the day. How good do you look doing what you do? Period. Are you thumping people? You know what I'm saying? Is there finesse to your game? Other than that, honestly, everybody's got to win out. No one's going to lose at this point,
right,
and make it back in.
Yeah. I've been corrected, by the way. I correct myself. Texas A&M did jump into the rankings at number 14, so I take that back. I scanned through. I didn't think they were on there, but no, they're on that number. They're on that number 14. I'm looking at it now, and in the AP, they're number 13. So I take that back. That's my fault. I was wrong on that one.
Who did they beat? Ole Miss?
They beat Alabama.
Besides Bama, I know that.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro.
Did you feel? Listen,
that's their entire season. Doesn't matter who else they beat. They beat Alabama. That's all you need to know.
Man,
here you go. They had an impressive win over Kent State.
Wow.
They beat actually Texas A&M started number 6. They dropped bad.
Right.
So they won against Colorado. They won against New Mexico. Okay, wow. They lost to Arkansas, and they lost to Mississippi State. And after they lost to Mississippi State, they dropped to be an unranked, and then they beat OU by 3. Then they beat Missouri 35-14. Then they beat South Carolina 44-14. We'll see this coming week. They play Auburn. They play Auburn. We'll see what happens.
Which Auburn is looking pretty good right now.
Auburn, Auburn's number 13. So we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah, the SEC is always, to me, the SEC is always weird.
They've got Auburn, Ole Miss, Prairie View, and then they got LSU. So that's what Auburn has coming up. I mean, excuse me, that's what Texas A&M has coming up. Yeah, so we'll see.
Okay, well, it's to me I'm sorry, the biggest question mark in that top 4 is Michigan State to me. I don't believe Michigan State should be number 3. I just don't.
Have you seen their game? Have you seen them this year?
Yes, and they're playing great, but not 3.
Okay, who would you put above them?
Ohio State. Ohio State with their 1 loss. I would put Oregon at 3. I would put Ohio State at 4.
Because Oregon beat Ohio State.
Right. But who Oregon lost to, was it also an unranked team?
Yeah, I think so. Let me look and see. Hold on.
Because Ohio State's loss was still a high-ranking loss. It was still a ranked loss.
Yeah. Oregon lost to Stanford. That's an ugly loss, bro.
So
that's an ugly loss. Yes.
I can kind of agree with that, because looking at Michigan State's who they've beaten, the only ranked team that they beat was Michigan.
Yeah.
Hold
on, man. They put a trouncing on Youngstown State, bro. You can't sleep on Youngstown
there's
State, bro.
there's that.
Yeah.
In the category of signature win.
So hold on. They beat 2 ranked teams. They beat Michigan, and then they beat Miami.
And Miami was what at the time though? 22.
Yeah, they were 24. So yeah, I'm not saying they were a high ranked team.
They were barely in. Yeah.
Yeah, they were barely in. That's correct.
So yeah, I'm sorry. I would love to hear the justification behind a Michigan State 3. I could see them at. I could even see them at 6. I could see them, kind of neck and neck with a Cincinnati, and that's giving it to them. That's being generous, but
See, I don't think Cincinnati is all that strong. That's just me personally.
here's the problem: they're not going to have a test.
I think they're too high.
They're not going to have another test though.
No, they're not.
The only other test that they could possibly have is SMU, and SMU just lost to Houston. SMU's looking good right now, which I don't even think they're in the 25. No, they're not.
No, they're not. They're 7-1. They're not in the top 25. That's yeah. You're right. That's their only test.
That's going to be their only test for the rest of the season.
Tulsa's trash. USF is trash.
Hey.
I did that just for you, bro. I did that just. It's the only reason I said it was just for you.
You could have used a different word.
Okay.
Down year rebuilding.
Okay. Okay. Tulsa, hot garbage.
You ain't but see. I was about to say you ain't but 2 hours away, but I realized no, you a few states away. Good for you.
You got to come across a couple of lines to come get me, bro. I'm far away right now. I'm just messing with you.
He said hot garbage. Oh, let me fix my vernacular. Hot garbage. Didn't mean to offend.
My bad. Excuse me.
Yeah. So, but anyway, the point remains the same. Cincinnati really doesn't have enough test for the rest of the season.
Yeah, they'll win out, but they won't break into the top 4 though.
No.
I mean, there has to be a whole lot of shaking up to happen in order for Cincinnati to break that top 4. I mean, there has to be a whole lot of losing by a whole lot of teams.
Who else does Michigan State have?
I can find out right now.
Yeah, I was just looking at that.
Michigan State has Purdue 5-3. They've got Maryland. Okay, that's a win. They got Ohio State, and then they finish with Penn State. Yeah. Oof.
Yeah. So as much as Penn State has not shown up the way everybody thought they would this year,
that's still a hard win.
Dude, Penn State is still making you earn it.
That's not a gimme. That's not a gimme.
They are making you earn it. Their record does not show how hard they're playing.
Yeah, that's not a gimme.
I'm gonna tell you someone else that's a sleeper that no one's paying attention to, and that's Purdue.
I was gonna say Purdue's not a gimme either, and that's at home. That's at Purdue.
Yeah.
So and that's the next game. That's this weekend. So
yes. So
that's a 3:30.
It's
so
not.
We'll
it's not. I honestly believe they may have. Michigan State's gonna have to earn just staying where they are.
Well, Vegas believes that it's a tough match because they're only favored by 3.
See,
yeah, that's close, bro. That's close.
That can flip very
easily,
and they still have Ohio State.
Yes, and Penn State.
Now, Ohio State to me should have a chip on their shoulder, which will only help them.
Yeah, let me see what Ohio State's who they have left. Oh, wrong one.
And does Oregon even have a test?
So Ohio State's got Nebraska. That should be a win. They've got Purdue at the Horseshoe. Then they've got oh my God. So Ohio State's got Nebraska, Purdue, Michigan State, and Michigan. That's who Ohio State has left. That's a gauntlet, bro. Hey,
now,
if they win out,
how do you keep them out? That's the question.
Because they're number 5 right now,
right?
Yeah. If they went out with that schedule,
right? Bro. Now, how do you justify keeping them out of that? Now, of course, you really wouldn't. Even if Georgia, Alabama, and Oregon went out, and they beat Michigan State, there's no reason why they wouldn't be in.
And Oregon could win out because they've got Washington State, Utah, and Oregon State.
That's because they're in the Pac-12 Junior Conference. I mean, that's why they can win out, man. Come on now, you know better than that.
But that to me is also an argument against them.
No, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Well, and also that's an argument against Oklahoma State, but Oklahoma until their last 3 games because they only have 3 games left. Oklahoma does.
right? They got to buy this week, but they've got OSU, they've got Baylor,
Iowa State and Baylor.
and none of those are gimmies.
None of them are gimmies. No,
Mm-mm.
even
And
Iowa State. Then they're playing good.
that's what I'm
ball.
saying. None of
They
those
just
are
had
gimmies.
they had bad bounces. So
So yeah, it's you know, they could make an argument. Honestly, I think everybody could honestly make an argument other than Oregon, by winning out, other than Oregon and Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what does
I
Michigan
agree.
have? You ready to talk about them? They got
No.
Indiana, Penn State, Maryland, and Ohio State.
Penn State and yeah, they got 2 of those that, you know, they should win.
They should win Indiana. They should win Maryland. You know, Penn State still a good
Penn State
team.
is still Penn State.
They're playing at Penn State. They're playing at State College.
Yeah.
But they have Ohio State in Michigan in Ann Arbor. So
Listen, there is nothing more pleasing to a student that knows, or to a team that knows they're probably not going to go to their conference championship, other than playing the spoiler.
they lay it all out on the field, bro. They lay it all out.
This is
on the
it?
field.
We get to make you cry. Let's go.
Yeah.
We have nothing to lose.
That's right. That's like an unranked Carolina playing a ranked Duke, and we win. I don't care. Hey, we beat Duke. That's why we made them cry.
Made them cry.
Yes. That's all
Spoiler
that matters.
alert. So yeah, I think Penn State is a wounded lion in the corner, literally.
Yes.
Literally.
And they
yeah.
love their coach, and he keeps getting criticism left and right, even before they had the losses because of his skin color. So
They need to leave that dude alone, man. He's turned around a program that was seriously limping before he got there. So
dude, they were on life support. They weren't even walking, bro.
yeah, man. So
The
yeah.
scandals alone.
Yeah.
Now I am gonna say this, and yes, I have a reason to do it. It's completely personal. It's all family. But keep an eye out on number 11. Oklahoma State is playing some serious football. They are shafted on that loss. That was a bad spot, and the only reason why they lost that game was because of that horrible spot that everyone.
It was a bad spot, bro. It was a bad spot.
By the way, my nephews who had the ball at the time of that spot, number 80.
Really?
Presley. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
It was a bad spot, bro.
I'm beating my chest over my boy. He's a beast.
So who do they got left? They got wait a minute. They only have 1 game left?
Who? OSU? No, they got
West Virginia, TCU.
I didn't scroll up. I was going to say
and Oklahoma.
Yeah, West Virginia, TCU, Texas Tech.
So that may hurt them simply because the only real test that they should have is Oklahoma.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, they better not look past West Virginia.
No.
Because West Virginia, and they're playing in West Virginia.
Yeah, West Virginia shows up.
Yes, they do, and they're only a 3-point favorite.
Okay, they tend. I was about to say West Virginia tends to peak.
They do
toward the end of the season. So
and when they play at home, they're not a rollover. Because them jokers crazy up there, man. Them fans, they.
You mean just West Virginia? Period.
What did you say, Kev?
I said just West Virginia. Period.
Oh no, I don't disagree with you. I'm not moving up there. Bump that. Sorry, we got a location. We need a trainer in West Virginia. No, you don't. Not this dude. No, you don't.
All right. All right. Moving on from college football because we know that it'll be interesting to watch the rest of there.
Yep.
So this week, couple other things. Just in if you're talking about the personification of Romans 12:3, which is do not think of yourself more highly than you should. Scottie Pippen once again.
Oh, what did he do now?
Once again.
What did he do now, Kev? That's your boy, man.
No, that's not my boy.
That's your boy's boy. That's your boy's boy.
That
And
ain't
here-
that ain't even his boy's boy.
and here's
Come
here's,
on.
here's how you know that scripture is referring to him. If we're talking
Oh my
prophetic
God.
numerology, 1 + 2 is 3, and then 3. Scottie Pippen's number is 33. And then to take
He
it a
went
step further.
straight numerology.
Yeah,
And then
he
just
did.
to take it a step further,
Wow.
3 + 3 is 6. And what number does LeBron wear? But that's a whole other story.
Oh, here we go.
All right. But anyway,
Can we
Scottie Pippen.
please?
You
Scottie
notice how he
Pippen.
segued that in.
Hey, always got to put it in. Got to throw my jabs. All right. But Scottie Pippen, regarding The Last Dance, basically said, I'm paraphrasing, but he basically said, Jordan it was condescending, and it was just to stroke his ego, and because he didn't want people thinking that LeBron was the GOAT. So, again,
Say that last part again.
he basically said that Jordan had The Last Dance put out so that people would not think that LeBron is the GOAT. He wanted the younger generation to be reminded of who he was.
He's probably not wrong on that, bro. I'm just being honest. And I'm a Jordan fan. Remember, I got 3 people on my wall in my office: Jordan, Tiger, and Dion. It's not LeBron.
And
So,
I'm
a Jordan fan.
I can get with that, because it literally was that thing that reminded a lot of people, oh yeah, that's why we point to him as the GOAT. So it reminded folks in our generation, this is what we were able to witness. And then there's the younger generation that is like hearing about this, but there's a difference between hearing and seeing old,
it actually being done, right,
and seeing it in high def. So now you have that. So I can get with that portion of it. But then just again, Scottie Pippen, thinking more highly of himself than he ought, says, acts as if, in my opinion, that it was more dependent upon him than it was on Mike. Just my thoughts.
Okay, I got 2 things. The first thing, with him saying that Jordan was condescending, do we disagree with that?
Condescending to, I mean, how?
Bro, he was condescending to everybody. He knew he was the best. He let people know it. He let his teammates know it. He let the U.S. Olympic team know it when he wouldn't let Isaiah Thomas on the team. We know that Jordan has always thought that nobody could touch him, nobody could sniff his shorts. His stuff doesn't stink. And I'm a Jordan fan. This is nothing about me not liking Jordan, but we've known that about him. He punched Steve Kerr in the face in practice, and we heard about it 3 weeks later.
You got in the mouth. Don't just generalize it.
Is the mouth not part of your face?
It is, but let's get specific. He dotted that mouth of his.
So, I mean, by Scottie Pippen saying that, he's condescending. Look at Michael Jordan's Hall of Fame speech. The whole speech was condescension. It was. He put people down left and right. People like, hey, that's funny. Or like, did he really just say that? Hey, you better laugh, because if not, you're gonna be in trouble. I mean, I don't think that that's far-fetched. Now, the second part of that, come on, Scotty. It was all because of you? Nah, bro. Come on. You got to give more credit.
I think that is the rub. I think Scotty figured at some point, he would get some credit more than he has. That he wasn't. I think Scotty, if you had to put it in a pecking order, I think he sees himself. He sees, as far as the world's opinion of that team. Obviously, Jordan is number 1 in the King. In that second tier, he sees himself as individualized on that second tier. Like you're standing on my shoulders, bro. You wouldn't be there without me.
He's saying that there's nobody else in the second tier with him.
Right. And then the rest of the team is on that third tier and below. And I think that's how he sees it. But
there's some validity to that, though. I mean, if Scottie Pippen was not there, he is a vital cog in the wheel of those 6 championships.
Absolutely.
I would not deny him that whatsoever.
I would agree.
But
I just think
yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I just think we keep hearing from him, and obviously people love to goad him
Because he responds.
Like, you know what?
Because
We haven't heard
gonna
from
give you
him.
gonna
Let's
give you a
poke
hot
him.
take.
Hell, he's going to give it to you for sure. Because
He's gonna give you a hot take.
he's been quiet for so long. And now, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
it's almost like he says, Jordan is here, I'm here.
right.
Right? And let's bring it down some.
You're so petty.
And did you see how slow he moved? Like,
Dude, he went,
yeah. Let's just adjust you a little bit.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
And he makes these statements, he brings these things out, and it's like, Scotty, you got your 6 rings, you're a top 50 player.
Yes.
Let's just enjoy your retirement.
Just enjoy it, man.
Enjoy it.
Here's the other thing I think it's also bleed over from private conversations and hearsay.
Of course, probably. I don't disagree with that.
You know, I heard Mike said, yeah, about you. You know, somebody else asked.
He probably did.
Right. Somebody else asked, you know, or if he saw some type of footage or an article where somebody may have slipped in, you know, the rest of your team, you know, how do you feel about them? And he didn't give them props. I honestly feel like Scottie Pippen is vocalizing a lot of the chatter that he's hearing or being a part of behind the scenes.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Because there's too much frustration there. It's almost like it's always boiling over into these interviews. You know what I mean? It's not like, and he just has a serious chip on his shoulder. Whereas, you know, in 2010, thank you for being the best teammate. I will always cherish that experience and will cherish our relationship forever. 2010. Right. And now we're like, dude, you couldn't have done it without me. How do you get from there to here? You know, that's how you gave him props, but he's not giving it back. And you knew he was never going to do that. That's the thing. I'm blown away. It's like a codependent relationship. I give to you. Why don't you give back? I'm serving you so you can serve me back. You're not doing it. Yeah, man. He's a trip. I hope he gets some healing, man. He needs some.
Well, it also kind of speaks to, because I was just reminded of Jordan, when he cuts you off, because him and Barkley were best of buddies. Yes, and I think a little early this year, Barkley kind of let loose, or let it be known that he and Jordan were not necessarily seeing eye to eye and no longer close friends anymore, because Barkley said something that Jordan was like, okay, I see you. Mm-hmm. You keep analyzing, I'll keep owning, and you stay on your side and I'll stay on my side, and we'll call it what it is. That's kind of what happened, basically.
You know, here's you know, I can't defend or I don't know another word for that, but one of the things that everybody knows, first of all, the fact that those two even had a relationship,
right,
with the mouth on both of them, is mind blowing. As long as it lasted, is mind blowing enough. But yeah, once, you know, when you see somebody as you know, a little Pekingese, you know, just barking at you, you know, right, like big dog syndrome, and you looking at him like, dude, you still get a paycheck.
You still under contract, bro.
You still. I hire people to do what you do.
Right.
Yes. You're not wrong.
And I didn't.
I'm the one that I write the checks for what you do.
Yeah. Do you see your emblem on college football, basketball jerseys right now? Baseball
jerseys,
soccer.
Right.
I remember when OU and Michigan were one of the first two college teams, of course, after Carolina, to get Jumpman. Now you see it everywhere. It's not just basketball; it's a brand now.
Have you guys seen the Jordan cleats?
Yes, dude, it's everywhere.
So I mean, like, that's just the brand.
You've got a basketball logo on a football jersey and on football cleats. Think about this.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. I
Yeah.
mean, it's absolutely amazing.
So
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, yeah, I can see how, because Barkley does not know, and don't get me wrong, you don't, even even at this stage and at this late age, you're just not gonna let somebody punk you. I get it.
I get it.
I
I
get it.
get
So
it.
you're gonna
I
say
get
whatever
it.
you need to say, and Barkley has a huge megaphone,
A
Oh, yeah.
huge megaphone.
huge megaphone, a huge ego.
Yeah. So
I mean,
I
he
don't know.
can't string together 3 sentences at once, but he's got a huge ego and a huge megaphone.
And yet
Yeah.
America still loves him. Wait.
Loves
So
him.
so wait a minute.
How many Emmys does he have, bro? This dude.
So let me, because you just brought up something. I just thought about that. Why are the most famous commentators
I don't know. I
the
know where you're
dudes
going.
who have no control, no domination of the English language,
None. None.
and
And
we
this,
can't get enough of them?
hey,
So,
I really need Marshawn Lynch to be a commentator, bro.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
no, Marshawn would be comedy just because Marshawn
Hey,
is that guy.
I'm telling if I don't really watch Monday Night Football unless it's a team I'm watching. But I started watching. I don't know if you know about this. The Monday Night Football broadcast with Peyton and Eli. They're
I've heard of
literally
it. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
they're literally just watching the game. They comment every night, but they bring in guests. I did this week. I forgot who it was. I really didn't watch it that much. But last week it was Tom Brady, Marshawn Lynch, Sue Bird, and somebody else. They brought Marshawn Lynch in, and I'm like, bro, you do realize that you're on national TV, right?
And there's only a 7-second delay, so
The delay wasn't even working. I mean, he was dropping stuff left and right like it was World War II, bro. And I'm sitting, but here, dude, I'm cracking up. Even like 2 or 3 weeks ago, Eli Manning was talking about like the Philly fans, and he literally just, I'll just do the fingers, but they're not the right ones. He says, "Yeah, the Philly fans do this all day," and I'm like, "Bro, you're on ESPN national TV, and you just flipped two birds to the whole audience." He's like, "Oh, I didn't know the camera could pick it up, bro. What are you doing?"
Why are you there, sir?
Right. But I'm telling you right now, it's just something to watch. I mean, they're absolutely hilarious. I mean, I'm not a big Eli Manning fan, but what they're doing with that is, I mean, while Peyton Manning and Eli, they don't need to go broadcast games like Tony Romo and fly from city to city. They're sitting in their own living rooms doing a co-host thing for Monday Night Football on another station on ESPN. Why would you want to do anything else? I mean, yeah,
I agree.
yeah, they're reinventing what they're going to do for the rest of their life, and it's absolutely amazing. But if you ever have time and you look at the guest list and see who they have, it's pretty entertaining. Just to sit, I usually just have it playing in the background. I'm not really watching it. I'm just listening to what they're saying. It's actually pretty good TV.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder who their producer is, because they're not the ones picking that. I promise you.
Oh no. Oh no, you never. No. Strahan was on last night, and they talked about like I think it's that they specifically asked for them that night for some reason. So it's Peyton Manning. I'm sure that he has say so who they bring in. Trust me.
yeah. Eli
Yeah.
doesn't, but Peyton does.
That's right. Boy. Well, that's
man.
because Eli Manning did the same thing that Stevie Francis did in the NBA.
Mhm.
He came out the gate. I came out the gate not liking both of them because of that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, speaking of that, no, not speaking of that. Colin Kaepernick's Netflix special.
Yes, that's on the list of things. Yes.
Have you heard how what he compares the NFL Combine to?
Slavery.
I'll let you tell Darian, Kev.
He compares it to a slavery auction. Yeah.
He said that?
Oh yeah.
In the very beginning of the commentary, it's got like actors.
Oh, I
playing,
hate that, because now I can see it.
actors playing slaves on a block, but then it shows them on the combine getting their arms measured, and I'm like,
They do everything but open up their mouth and look at the teeth.
I get the concept. I mean, I get the thought process. I get that 70% of the league, maybe 80% of the league is African American. I get it, or people of color, I should say.
Yeah.
I get it. But slaves weren't signing up to go into they weren't going to the auction to make millions of dollars at a job.
Right.
I get what Colin Kaepernick is saying. I get it. I don't agree with the analogy.
Right.
Because it's too much of a stretch.
I think it cheapens slavery.
It
a
does.
Little. I get the concept. I get what he's talking about. I think it was it the draft, was it 2 years ago that they were like on boats being drafted or whatever? Was that like last year, year before?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There was something I remember. It was one of the sports that was being drafted, and it was happening where they were coming in on like gondolas or boats with their teams. I'll have to look it up and see. But there were folks that were like, ironic that the draft is happening and players are being taken away on boats. Okay. But with this, I'll look it up. But with this, wow. I get what Kaepernick is.
I get it.
Saying.
I get it.
I get it. I don't fully agree with it, but I get how it can feel that way because yes, you are being pulled into a contract. You don't have any say really of which team you go to be honest, right? Unless your name is Manning and your big brother's Peyton, right? So you don't really have that much say as far as where you go.
Right.
You are locked into pretty much, and even now, I think the first like so many slots have
first slots. Okay, yeah.
The first slots have like this is the maximum that you can make. This is how long your contract is, what have you. So there is that tying you in for a period of time. I get it, but it's a stretch, in my opinion, to really say that it is modern day slavery.
You can tie me in for $2.5 million.
You know, there's no. How else would you do it? You know what I'm saying? And I get.
That was my question. I mean,
okay, fine. So you suggest we do what?
It's not just football. It's every sport.
Right.
I mean, it'd be different if it was just football. Hockey does it.
Right.
Predominantly white. Baseball does it. Well, now it's getting close to not being predominantly white anymore with Puerto Ricans.
I was about to say it's quickly heading toward.
It's quickly,
Hispanic.
yeah. I mean, all the other sports do it, so it's not like it's just the NFL that does it. So, but and the other sports have workout camps. I didn't call them combines. I think the NFL has the copyright on the term combine, but they have the same things. Baseball has it. Hockey has it. I mean, basketball has it. I mean, so it's.
And the other thing is, you got to be invited to that combine.
It's an invitation
only. So you still got pro day.
Yes.
Whatever that's going to be, wherever you still got pro day to prove that you deserve the invitation. I'm not sure how else you're going to be able to do that when the job is to play a game.
I don't know how many of my ancestors got an invitation to a slave auction, had the option not to go.
And had the option not to go. Right.
I mean, I
choose another form of work.
I don't know how many of them have that option. Probably none. So I mean, it's a stretch.
And the other thing is, as much as these guys are signing contracts, it's not etched in stone. It's not like
right. It's not guaranteed.
Right.
On both sides.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree.
On both sides. You want to walk away, you can. It's going to be harder for you to walk away, but you can walk away.
Yes.
Yeah.
A slave can walk away, but they may not walk back
or walk far.
Yep.
Or walk at all.
Right.
All right. So I did look it up. It was the 2020 draft, which we know was disrupted because of COVID. But the 2020 draft, the original plan was that it was going to be it was in Vegas, and they were going to, in front of the Bellagio hotel, the players were going to be essentially coming up on boat. They'll be transported to the stage by boat.
Thank God. You know what? I'm not going to say thank God for COVID, but That saved a lot of publicity, bro.
That would have made that would have made the nation look stupid.
Yeah.
That would have been terrible.
That is a horrible idea.
It's a horrible idea. It is so bad.
That's what they were. That's where I had heard it. That's what they were planning.
Number one, the time frame that it would take to get a player. You've called their name. They're coming to get the jersey. They're coming to shake dude's hand. The time that it takes to get him on the boat across whatever in the Bellagio and get him off the boat, get him back on the boat, bring him back. Yeah, man, that was a horrible.
Not even to mention the climate we were in. Think about that.
In 2020?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody was trying to make a statement.
Yeah.
There would have been riots, bro. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Dude, you said anyway, I'll bring that up later. Yeah.
So
that
so,
would have been good.
but as far as the entire documentary, or not even documentary, but dramatization of Colin Kaepernick was interesting to watch.
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay.
I don't know if I want
it.
to.
We may do a whole thing on it just because it's, the kind of the whole story. He grew up, he was adopted, white
Yes.
family.
Yes.
And my question is, how much of that was actual what happened and his perception? Because there are some things in there I'm like, yeah, I could see why you kind of feel the way you feel. And I'm like, and then be like, why did it take you so long? Because some of the stuff that he goes through, at least in this Netflix series, is like, dude, I'm sorry, I'd be going to the NFL from day one, because it's some stuff that he's just like, just how he was treated, how he was, the microaggressions that we know are there.
Yeah.
But a lot of the things, even from his family, some of the microaggressions that were there.
Yeah.
So
I will say this, even though I don't technically agree with the comparison, the analogy of the combine and the selling of slaves, I do 100% believe that the NFL blackballed them.
Oh yeah,
because you've got PJ Walker that started a game. Who the heck is PJ Walker? Some brother from I'm looking. I'm like, I think it was Seattle. It was somebody. Somebody else got here. He's like the third string, and they had just called this dude up. PJ Walker. Even Mark Sanchez was still in the league when Colin Kaepernick could have had a job. I'm like, seriously, there's so many other people that are so worse than him. I'm like, they have a job.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Tebow had a job, bro.
Mitchell Trubisky had a job. I had to.
Here's the thing. I can't argue with that, man. I mean, hey. So yeah,
man,
people say, well, his talent decreased. I said, I'm not talking about him being a starter. I'm just talking about him being on a roster.
Right.
You mean to tell me that Colin Kaepernick was not good enough to be a third string quarterback? Seriously? Or even a second? Come on, bro. I'm not believing that. I'm not believing that. No. It made no sense.
The owner's pool.
Kirk Cousins is a starting quarterback. Kirk Cousins is trash. I don't care what anybody says. Even worse than Tulsa. He's hot garbage in Arizona bad.
Wow.
Kirk Cousins is terrible.
Well, speaking of, the other thing is Cam hasn't been signed, has he?
No.
Nope.
I was just looking at that. Yeah.
And all these injuries that they've had, and now that Winston is out for the season, most likely
they've already passed on him. New Orleans has said no thanks, but no thanks.
I don't get it, man.
So, but the other way we know that Kaepernick was blackballed was, going back to this whole thing with Gruden and the emails. All of a sudden, the NFL is like, we're not releasing anything else out of the Washington football team investigation. We're not going to talk anything else about it. And there's been I want to say it was an owner, but someone else was like, no, we need y'all to release that. Come out with the rest of that. Because here's the thing. We're talking Washington football team. which it's not surprising out of that organization. But
No.
if that's just one organization, we haven't touched the others.
No,
This is
because
my
I guarantee
point.
you there's going to be emails that link other organizations because they had their emails. They have a 650,000 page document,
Mhm.
and that was 3 weeks ago. I
Right.
don't know what they have right now. That's just on the Washington Redskins.
Dude, listen, I don't know. What is it that they're trying to achieve? Is my question. What is it that they're looking for?
It's the law. It's about the lawsuit that all these people, all these women have against the Washington Redskins, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. I think it started with the cheerleaders.
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah, that's a string they definitely don't want to pull on.
Oh, it won't stop. Once they pull it, it's going to unravel all the way.
Because that is a cultural issue, and that cultural issue is not just organizational based. It starts with owners.
Mm-hmm.
And when you only have 2 non-white owners in the entire league?
Who?
Is it the Jaguars? And I forgot the other one.
The Jaguars.
I know there's no African American ones.
No, there's none.
That's why he said non-white. That's
Yeah, that's why I said that. There are definitely no African Americans.
And honestly, I didn't realize there were only 3 head coaches.
Wow.
That blew my mind too. I heard it yesterday. I'm like, wait a minute.
We used to have more than that.
We did have more than that.
Yeah. So you have basically the Jacksonville Jaguars owner is Pakistani American, and then the Buffalo Bills co-owner is Asian American.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. And how they got slid in? I thought I used to think
who let them in? How did they get past the gate?
Real talk. I mean, because you have to be
invited
to even purchase.
Right.
Jerry Jones is like, all right, which one of y'all let this happen?
You know
he did.
You know I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find out which one of y'all let them in.
Or they said, guys, we gotta get somebody.
We gotta give them something.
Right.
All right. So, if they ever crack that door open to black ownership,
they almost did it with
it's a wrap.
With Carolina. They almost did with Carolina. Because when homeboy Richardson was found, all the crap that he had done, it was P. Diddy and somebody else, wasn't it? That was trying to buy Carolina.
Yeah, it was a couple of them that were trying to get the money together and like make a serious offer for it.
But don't forget that the owners vote on new ownership.
Right.
That's the other racket. The other owners vote on new owners.
Right. People, what's funny? When people think, if they don't really dig into the National Football League or sports teams, sports leagues, period, they actually think that somehow the government has something to do with these sports leagues. Like they're not 100% private. They are 100% private.
People don't get that. It's a private business.
Yeah. Who has chosen to link themselves up branding wise with American icons so that you can feel like this is etched in stone. This is a part of Americana.
Private institution.
But the NFL can get shut down like any other business. And what's funny to me is the NFL has never qualified as a monopoly.
Well, doesn't there have to be competition in order for them to be a monopoly? There is no competition.
No, that is what makes a monopoly.
And they've shut down.
I thought with a monopoly there had to be competition.
No, it has to be a lopsided. The inability for competition to actually create competition.
Right. Which they've done that. They have shut down the USFL. They've shut down
XFL.
the XFL. and
The
any other
World
thing that
Football. Remember the World Football League?
right.
We were in college, and that teams like Raleigh Durham, that teams overseas,
Mm-hmm.
and that lasted what, 1 season, 2 seasons,
And
maybe.
because the Arena Football League completely was like, we are not going to try and compete with you. We're going to go a
They
different
can't.
direction.
Yeah.
That's why
Which
they've
they,
been allowed to exist.
but even with that, it's been marginalized.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
And it's like the NFL is going to be preeminent when it comes to that oblong ball. I don't care
Wait,
what they play or how they play it.
so here's my question: isn't that basically every major sport that's considered a monopoly? Then there's nothing that competes to Major League Baseball. There's nothing that competes with the NBA. I mean, the WNBA is its own separate entity, and we look at hockey. There's not anything else that is going to that rivals hockey.
Actually,
They're all
actually,
considered monopolies. Then
well,
I mean,
hockey actually does. Hockey, even though there's
internationally, you mean?
no,
no. So there's the National Hockey League,
Right.
right,
but then you've got the CHL, and then you've got another league
right.
that
The
even though
Canadian Hockey League.
I don't think it's Canadian, it might be, but whoever the CHL is has had American teams in it. Now I don't know if they still do because I don't keep up with hockey, but I remember back in the day, um, the CHL.
Okay, you said back in the day. I'm talking about right now.
So there's
Do they still
Hell, I
have
don't
it
keep
right
up.
now?
there's National Hockey League, there's the American Hockey League, North American Hockey League, and the ECHL, which is East Coast Hockey League.
You might as well just throw the alphabet soup out there.
Hey,
It's
But
like wrestling. You got the ECW, you got ACW, you
now
got I don't. Yeah. Well, what about
if
baseball?
so, baseball to me, baseball did the smart thing by creating the farm
farm
system.
system, yeah,
True.
That was just smart. Okay, so
Incredibly smart.
even though it's not competition, it's all feeder.
Single A,
right,
double A, triple A. Yeah, I
Right.
get it. Yeah.
And so these smaller markets have the opportunity to have baseball in their backyard,
right,
Quality
professional
baseball. Yeah,
baseball
quality
in their
baseball. Yeah.
backyard,
right,
right?
Okay.
And how
I
much
can go with
pride
that.
it brings to those smaller communities if someone gets called up.
right.
So we say the same thing about the D League then with the NBA?
Yeah, because
If they would let it do what it's supposed to do.
They're not.
No.
well,
Didn't they just create the G League?
the G League is the D League. The D
Yeah,
League
it's the
became
same
the G
league.
League. Yeah, it's the
Okay.
same
Same
thing.
league. Yeah, it's the same league.
So, if they ever allow it to really do what it could do,
Well,
but then
there have been players that have been called up from the G League. There have
There
been
have
players
been.
that,
Yeah.
did get signed, what have you.
Not many though. Not many.
Right. But I think that also to me speaks to um, the roster that you have, right? You only have what, 30 teams in the NBA, 32, something like that, with 12,
32, I think.
yeah, with 12 on each team. So you have a limited number of slots. Also take into account how many every year you have 64 new players coming into the league through via the draft, not counting also the players that go undrafted. And then take into account the fact that the lifespan of an NBA player is definitely longer than it is for an NFL player,
Oh,
right?
of course, by far. Yeah.
So you have that. So the reason that a farm system, in my opinion, does not work that well in the NBA is because you don't have a lot of slots to move up into, right?
Not a
But
lot of turnover.
right, as far as competition, though, there's not competition for the NBA, but I think that they have kind of embraced the fact that all basketball is good basketball. So you have things like the Big Three that
I'll
use former
thank
players
you.
that
Or the WNBA.
or the WNBA, which they do not support the WNBA or promote as much as they could or
They
should.
should, to be
Right.
honest.
That's dumb on their part.
Oh
It's
yeah,
it's incredibly dumb.
That's
yeah,
dumb on their part. But the WNBA, if I'm not mistaken, they kind of want that air
That's
of
what that was going to be my
separation.
next statement. Don't they want to
They
try to
kind of
build it
want
on
that,
their
yeah.
own?
Which
Yeah.
is, if I'm not mistaken, ESPN's about to launch ESPNW.
okay.
which is all women's.
Are they
sports.
finally going to? Because they've been talking about that for a while.
Yeah, I saw. I've been seeing commercials for the ESPNW.
Well, good.
And
Good.
so that opens. Excuse me. That opens up.
It does.
Boy, that will change a lot.
It will change a lot.
That will change a lot for the landscape.
It will.
But you brought up the big three. To me that Ice Cube exploited. I think he saw an opportunity that absolutely made sense, and what the N1 Street League tried to do or could have done.
It could have done, yes.
Had they kind of expanded their concept and just stop trying to get just street players.
I agree.
And basically create their own rules and their own, what have you. Had they kind of gone that other route, because people love the big three. Big three.
I actually tuned into the big three because I'm like, this is kind of exciting. I love the concept.
Yeah.
I love seeing some of these old heads I hadn't seen play. And I'm like, okay, they still got some skills, bro. I'm like, okay. I mean, I really enjoyed it. It was good stuff.
And so, again, it's not guys trying to get into the league.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's guys who are basically, hey, I've still got some skill. You're still going to want to watch me play, and I still got that competitive edge.
Right.
But I don't have to be as driven. It's a little the game itself is a little more loose.
Right.
Has it been shut down?
Big three?
Still going? No. I need to see Vince Carter in Big Three. I need to see that.
That would be crazy.
I need to see Vince Carter, bro. I'm just saying. The dude played for 21 years and he could still ball. I need to see Vince Carter 3-on-3. I that's must see TV for me. And if you can get Rasheed Wallace on the team with him, oof, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Pull Rasheed Wallace. Come on, man.
But see, that's the other thing with guys.
Antoine Jefferson, the Carolina trio.
I was saying with guys quitting, with guys retiring, and with guys getting cut.
Right.
The big three has a huge pool to pull from.
And these guys still want to play.
Right.
They still want to hoop, just like football players. That's why they hang out like, God, I want to go back. There is no avenue for them to go to after NFL. But, these guys still believe they can hoop, and they still have some skill. I mean, they can still play. So, yeah, that would be exciting to see Vince Carter.
Do not be surprised if you wind up seeing a semi-pro flag situation come about.
Really? Why do you say that?
Number one, they're going to do that for the women.
Really?
Yes, and it's going to be good.
Flag?
Flag football for girls. Flag football is huge and growing. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's growing.
Can we see Marshawn Lynch in flag football, please?
Oh, that would be insane. But that's what I'm saying. Flag football is actually pretty entertaining to watch.
It is. They actually asked Marshawn Lynch if Tom Brady called him up and would he go play. He literally thought about it for like 6 seconds, bro. I was like, what? He says, nah, man, I can't do that. He says, what if they threw in a life supply of Skittles? I said, what? He said, well, maybe, man, if they just need me to come and show up and to do a down or two, I'll be up there with Gronk and Brady. He's like, nah, I ain't good. I'm like, bro, you thinking about that hard, bro?
Yeah.
You thinking about that hard?
See, he did something so intelligent though, man. As far as his own personal,
yes,
walk away before your body is broken.
Yeah,
like Jerome Bettis, he had to walk down steps backwards.
That's
he's bad.
He may, but Marshawn said
down backwards. Yes,
man, he said that pretty early on in his career, dude. I'm not finna do this. Y'all not finna break me. He was smart
having the time of his life right
Absolutely.
now.
Oh yeah.
And I'm happy for him.
Absolutely. And the crazy thing is, every few years, every once in a while, somebody will throw it. Hey, you want to do a month? You want to do a week? You want to do a one game?
Right.
Sure.
Hold on. Give me the ball, coach.
Yeah, sure. And you know
Okay.
what's crazy enough? He stays in good enough shape
He
Mhm.
does.
to where they don't have a problem with throwing him in. Here's the playbook.
Yeah.
We'll see you in a week. You know,
Right.
we're gonna run you on some third downs. Call it a day.
That's why they're talking about Adrian Peterson may have a chance to. Oh, wait a minute! Did you know that Derrick Henry may be out for the season?
Oh yeah, because he broke his foot.
Oh,
That's huge.
oh,
Yeah.
I just found it out today.
man.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
big news, bro.
Yeah.
That's a big boy.
Yeah, they're saying there's no timetable for his return, but he's got foot surgery coming up. So, and then
There's no
Jameis
reason a dude that big should run that fast. I don't know how it's possible.
Yeah.
He outran like 4 defenders. I forgot who they were playing. I'm like, I replayed it because I was at my mom and dad's. I'm like, Dad, how is that possible? And one, he's got a long stride like Usain Bolt has a long stride. I think that's part of it. His stride is long, but he puts him up and puts him down quickly like Usain Bolt does. That's the only thing I can figure out why he's so fast and so big.
His run reminds a lot of people of Eric Dickerson.
It does.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's a straight. Remember, was it Michael Johnson that was that straight up runner to sprinter? He ran straight up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
him. Yeah.
exactly. That's how Derrick Henry is.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, and Usain Bolt's the same way. It's weird when you look at it, but it's effective if you have the body type and you're able to do it.
Right. Right.
And your center of power.
That's a
Because
strong.
yeah, man. That's a lot of people can't get that type of push. You know, straight up. It's just
Strong dude.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, that's it for today. We have reached our time.
Ooh, that was
Again,
quick.
we kind of hit on a few things we missed out. We may have to bring it up next week.
Will and
with
Jada.
and Will. Not an entanglement, but it's difficult to have relations, it seems. So we will have that conversation another time. And
please let's do.
Yeah, let's do our let's look into it and let's make that our topic for next week to at least start off.
Let's make it happen.
We do all gas, no breaks here on Chop It Up, where we're just hitting a bunch of topics. We'll see what happens next week. But thanks you all for tuning in, and we'll see you again next time. Be blessed. Have a great one.
Be good, people.